Welcome back. Now what we need to do is that we need to work on the place order function. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open up the controller. I'm going to open up the cart controller. And in the cart controller, what we need to do is that we need to create this function. I'm going to say here, let me give myself some space first. And then what we want is that we need here to create a function. I'm going to say function. And this function is pretty long because it's gonna do a lot of things. But let me first give it a name. I'm gonna say place order. But I'm gonna break down the process into, or the steps into a few small chunks so that you understand. First, we need to pass the request. I'm gonna say request, and let's work on the first step. So the first step is that we need to make sure that the cart is not empty, as usual. We need to say if request, and then session cart, session has cart. If the session has cart, only if the session has cart, then we can move on and place the order. Else we just redirect. We just say here return redirect to the home page. So the first step, in case we have a cart, the first step is that we need to get user data. And to get the user data, we need to know which fields we have. So the fields that we have, remember, in the cart, in the checkout cart page, we have the name, email, phone, city, address. So we need to access these. So here I'm going to say name is equal to request, and then input, and then name. And then we need the email, request input, email. We need to get the email as well. We also need the city and the address. We need the phone, city, and address. So I'm going to say phone. The phone is equal to, again, request, and then input, and then phone. And we need the city, and we need the address. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it here 2 times. So we need the city here. City is equal to request input city. And lastly, we need the address. However, this is not enough because we need two or three more things. We need to know which products that the user wants. Of course, the products are stored in the cart, so we need to get that from the cart. We also need to know the cost, the total cost, which is also stored in the cart. And we also need the date in order to know when exactly has the user placed the order. So remember, if you open up the orders table, we need to insert the name, the email, the city, the address, the phone, and also the date and the status and the cost. So let's start by the cost. The cost is the total cost. So the cost is the total, and it's stored in the session. So we need to say cost. The cost is equal to request session get total. We need to get the total amount that the user should pay in order to get their products. We also need the status. So what is the status? The status is going to tell us whether user paid or not. And initially, when we place an order, the status will be not paid. So I'm going to say status is equal to not paid. Not paid. And then after user pays, I'm gonna change this. After user pays and we make sure that the user paid, we change this. Finally, we need the date. We need this date. So for this date, we need to say date is equal to, and then I'm going to be using PHP function, which is date, and then I'm going to store three things. I'm going to store the year, and then month, and then day, MD, YMD. And we need the products, and the products are stored in the cart. So we need to say cart is equal to request, and then session, and then get, and then cart. And we are done with this part, which is getting all the information that we want in order to create a new order.